Today's guest is a current teacher. She is the mother of my child and my former or ex fiance, Miss Jordan Green.
Everybody.
It's just a normal combo. All right. I got some questions for you, but other than that, we'll get it rolling. We'll try to keep it professional. Right now, we are on a family vacation, which you know how that goes. Anyways, so you are a teacher
I am a teacher.
for I know all this right now, but
Mhm.
you know what I mean.
Yes.
For what grade?
I teach first grade at a private school in Peoria, Arizona.
And so what kind of are they bad? Like you obviously you're not gonna say any names, but like are they bad? Be honest, because like I don't remember first grade for me, but I remember it was pretty.
I have some kids who are more challenging than others, but overall, they're pretty good kids. My class size is pretty small, so I don't have very many different personalities to work with.
It's nice. And so what kind of made you become a teacher? Like was it something that you like? Did you like I said? I know most of these answers, but like you know what I mean. Like was it something that you were passionate about? Like since you got out of school, was it
Mm,
something that kind of just came upon you when you're a little older or
yeah.
yeah?
So I actually, when I was younger, I wanted to be a doctor,
Oh
but I
man.
obviously I did not want to go through that much school. So I decided when I was in high school to do the what is it, early childhood classes. I did the first one. I really liked it, and then I joined the club that went along with it, and then I got more involved with it. Took all three of the classes, and then I started working at the child care center that was attached to the high school. And from there, I decided that I wanted to do that in college. Started majoring in elementary and special education. I worked at daycares. I've done lots of different things. I've been a substitute teacher, and I feel like going to school and being a part of that so young has helped me grow my love for it and seeing like the little connections that kids can make and just seeing the difference that you can make in kids' lives
Yeah.
with just one small interaction with them.
Oh yeah. And like so for those early childhood early
Early childhood,
early
yeah.
childhood classes, like I know that's where they like give you like the baby and all that, and
Mm,
like you know what I mean.
yeah.
Is there any accuracy between those babies and like a real life kid? Like, would you say?
Uh, I feel like in some ways, yes, but also no. Um, I feel like having a newborn is a lot different than having one of those babies because you know that
Well,
the
yeah.
next
Look at
day
us.
I was
Ours is laying on the bed right there.
exactly.
Go
You know
ahead.
that the next day you're gonna be able to give it back. So you're like, I can push through because I know that I'm gonna be able to give this baby back
Right.
the next day. So you have hope for that. But I feel like with a newborn or like a baby of your own, like you just gotta try and push through.
Yeah. I mean, kind of got to push through. So what? So how long have you been teaching? It can go between like you can either say like you've been teaching like fully like having your own classroom, or you can talk about like you have being like a sub or like
Mhm.
how long have you overall been
Yeah.
teaching for?
So I've been a first grade teacher for one full school year. Before that, I was a substitute teacher. I did that for about a year and a half. And before that, I worked in different daycares on and off. I did that for probably like 3 or 4 years. I did that as well. I also worked in ABA therapy for a little bit, for probably like 6 months, but not too long. But I also dabbled there. So it's been overall, it's been like 6 years, 5, 6 years
5, 6.
that I've been teaching.
That can't be accurate.
No, it has. It is.
You
So, because
5, 6 years. You're 15.
when we were in high school, that's what I was doing. I was making lesson plans. I was teaching. I was teaching in the classrooms.
you're teaching that can't be legal.
It is legal because it's part of our class curriculum.
Oh fuck! I pray for those kids that were getting taught by a 15-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, what kind of experiences with the kids? Like, what would you say? Like, I guess you could say kind of your most memorable or like most kind of your most memorable like with certain students or whatever, like
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, like teaching them about whatever subject you teach them about, or like what kind of experiences did you have throughout your years?
That's a good question. I feel like for me, a lot of my like most memorable experiences were on like during like spirit weeks and like holidays and things like that.
Oh
Doing
yeah,
like holiday,
everyone loves a little good spirit week, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, and doing like
Yeah.
holiday parties and like movie days. I feel like that's when it's most memorable because you're able to go off of the curriculum. You don't really have a plan. You can kind of just do whatever, and you get to make memories with the kids doing things that they enjoy. Like you can tailor your curriculum to make it things that the kids enjoy, but
Hmm.
those are days that they always really look forward to, things like that. And I feel like I also have, it's not always just the most memorable with the kids. I feel like for me it's also with the parents, and like hearing the parents tell me like, hey, I see the progress that they've made, and like they come home and they talk about how much fun they're having in class or what they're doing in class, or
Hmm.
I sit and I see them try to read like billboard signs or exit signs when we're just driving in the car. So things like that are probably the most memorable for me
Yeah.
while I'm teaching.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, I can imagine some of those being the most memorable. What kind of, because obviously like you're teaching kids, like have you ever had like a parent that kind of like not stepped out of line, but like kind of you're like you had to keep an eye out, like, and you're like, all right, like we kind of have this built up, not tension, but like you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like they're keeping an eye on me and I'm doing the same with them. Like,
Yeah, I've had parents that don't agree with my teaching style. I feel like for me, my teaching style is a little bit different than
would you say
modern
that like
teaching.
like most of them are like older parents that like think about it like that, like just because you're so young, like
Not necessarily. I feel like it's kind of a mix, but parents are a little bit more like, I guess, like weary of me. Is that the right? I don't know if that's the right word. But like they kind of
they're
are.
kind of on
They're
the fence,
skeptical.
kind of
They're
on the fence.
skeptical of
There you
me
go.
since I'm such a young teacher, and like obviously I don't openly share my age with all of the parents because
Yeah,
I feel like that would make them not trust me as much,
just
even
kind of
though
let
I
them
have
guess,
good
like how
experience.
let them guess, kind of. You know what I
Exactly,
mean? Like
because
you're young, obviously.
exactly. A lot of people like expect teachers to be pretty young, but not necessarily as young as I am.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely
No,
try to,
especially now. I mean, yeah,
exactly. I try not to talk about it very much, but there's been a lot of parents who are not big fans of me because of the way I teach and my teaching style that I have. So
yeah. And do you think like do you think kind of because you don't share, or do you feel like you're kind of forced to not share your age just because you already have that, like you kind of know that they're gonna assume something about you, or like they kind of are like, all right, well, I'm what kind of I don't know if you know what kind of generation was our parents, because I don't know.
I have no idea.
Anyways, but yeah, like
Millennials?
I would say like those are kind of like the
Yeah.
parents that are, you know what I mean, sending their kids
Yeah.
to you, like
Hmm.
our age type of parents.
Yeah.
Would you say that those are the you don't share too much with that because you know that like that kind of age specifically would see you as like hey, like I'm paying all this money for them to go to this private school. I don't want them being taught by someone that grew up on TikTok and shit.
Yeah.
And I know we really didn't, but like it's here, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Their kids are going through it. Like,
Partially, but also like I feel like a lot of teachers are just more comfortable like not sharing their age. I feel like it's not necessarily just for those specific parents. I feel like it's for all parents
mm-hmm.
in general, and even like the people that I work with. Like I don't really share what like my age and everything because I'm usually the youngest person in the place that I'm teaching, like where I'm teaching now. I'm the youngest person there.
You're the youngest person there, right?
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
damn.
I think
Okay.
by like a year or two, but I'm the youngest one there.
Right. But
So
there's people around your general age still. Like,
yeah, I think
okay.
there's one girl that's like 23.
Oh, yeah.
And but there's
I
also a
mean,
couple.
shit. So there's also some old people there though too.
Yeah, there's a
Right.
couple that I think one's in like her 50s and then one's 28. So like
That's kind of.
25, 26. So like our whole school, like the school is very, very small.
Mhm.
So a lot of them are pretty young. So
Yeah, I mean, damn,
yeah.
for sending like for being a private school and having young, I think it's kind of crazy. Like, you know what I mean?
But a lot of daycare teachers are pretty young. So
But
I feel like that makes sense.
I feel like daycare's a lot different just because it's like we send him to daycare. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like,
but for the school I work at, they start at 2 years old. So they have 2-year-olds and then they have preschoolers, and the
but I mean,
preschool
he was going
teachers
there
are
like
young.
6 months. Like, I feel like there's a difference between like school because you're counted as like
Mhm.
a school, like you're teaching like
Yeah, I
actual
teach
stuff.
like
Like
schoolers.
in daycare, daycare is kind of
Mhm.
like you're implementing those skills into them, but you're not forcing them. Like
Oh yeah,
they're still being able to play around and you know what I mean. You're
oh
kind of
yeah,
just watching them. Like
yeah.
for
I
you, it's
feel.
like it's just kind of like a public school, like a normal school. Like
Mm,
you're there to watch the kid, but you're also teaching them. Like
yeah.
you know what I mean. Like you think there's a difference, like in like you think there's a difference between like what kind of like parts of the like daycare. What are they watchers? Are they teachers too?
Yeah, daycare
Like
teachers.
daycare teachers and like what you do. Like you think there's like a big
Like a
difference
difference.
between that?
Um, Partially, I feel like there is like differences among the curriculum and like what you deal with on day to day. Like I don't change diapers. Like I don't help kids in the bathroom, things
Yeah.
like that. I feel like there is that difference day to day, but overall, I feel like we all have the same goal. We all have to follow the curriculum. I obviously have to follow more curriculum, and I have more to follow, and more copies to make, more to print out, and I have like specific standards of what my kids need to know by the end of the year. But
Hmm.
I definitely think that there's a lot of similarities, but there are also a lot of differences.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What would you say that your so like we were talking about, you talk to a lot of parents and all that.
Mhm.
What would you say kind of, and you don't have to share like the full details or like any at all, or kind of how do you prepare to like talk to a parent where their kid's kind of struggling and like like either they're pissed off or like they're not understanding and like because there's a lot of default on
Mhm.
like parents that like blame the teachers for
Oh
their
yeah.
kids not you know what I mean, and we might grow up and be the same way, or like when we get older we might be like, oh, my
Yeah.
kid's not, the teacher's fucking up, like you know what I mean,
Yeah.
like what
My
would
kid would never.
yeah, like how would you personally like prepare for those type of conversations where it's like it's
Oh yeah.
one-on-one, you and the parent, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. So during like parent teacher conferences, like I have to have those conversations. I gotta have lots of them, but I feel like there's no way to really prepare. Like I like to try and do like compliment sandwich. Like I say something good and like I show them good things, and then I talk about where they're struggling, and then I follow it up with
Something
like
good.
good. And but I really want. I am very blunt. I'm very honest with my parents. Like it's hard at first, and it's very scary, especially as like a teacher who has the first parent teacher conference. It's very scary because you don't have very many interactions with the parents beforehand.
Right.
So I feel like for me, there's no way to really prepare. I just like to be very blunt and honest. I'm like, hey, this might be hard to hear, but I'm going to be very honest with you. And I feel like me at the beginning of the school year, I explain to the parents on Meet the Teacher Night,
Mhm.
and I send a letter home telling the parents that I keep an open line of communication. So usually the parents hear about it when they first start struggling, so it's kind of like a slow gradual like build up. If it's something that becomes like a real issue, like I
Yeah.
teach my kids how to read a lot.
Right.
So
But don't the parents usually already know like when they're going, like I know you said you like to be like very blunt and all that.
mhm,
Don't they already know what they're kind of going into? Like it's not kind of like they're like going in there, oh yeah, like if their kid's like been bad, like you know what I
mhm.
mean? Like it's not like they're going in there thinking like, oh yeah, my kid's about to get the greatest report. Like you know what I mean? Like I feel like, do you think you have to be blunt with parents that you can sense that they already know that their kids like messing up? Like, do you feel like you still got to be like that, or is it kind of like you're just kind of like not reassuring, but like letting them know like, hey, like I know we talked about it, or I know you're like catching wind of it. Like, do
Yeah.
you? do you have to really be as blunt with those parents that aren't oblivious to their kids' actions? Or
I still try to be very open, very honest, and like kind of just reiterate what I've told them before if it's
yeah,
already been a conversation. But I feel like those conversations aren't as serious. There are some parents where I'll like send notes home or I'll talk to them and they're still kind of like they don't understand what's going on. They don't realize how serious it is. Like if their
yeah,
kid is struggling reading or like doesn't know all their letter sounds, but we're over here starting to read chapter books, those conversations are like a little bit more serious. But I feel like with parents that I've talked to them and they like are kind of understanding and they're willing to do things at home, it doesn't have to be as much of a serious conversation.
yeah. I can see that. This one's so I know we like talk about like I don't think, because even for you, like, teaching wasn't first on the bucket list, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
And I feel like that's for a lot of people. It's never really on the bucket list, like, unless you're like, I feel like unless it's kind of like a family thing. Like if your parents a teacher or like
Yeah.
in that field somehow, like you'll somehow end up becoming it, because like everyone's around school, yes, but like I feel like if you're in there like personally like that's when you become a teacher. Um, so yeah, no one really gets into it. So what kind of made you like take that? Like, I know you said you were working in it, but like even going back then, like were you just fascinated by like seeing kids like kind of get that light bulb in their head, or like, and you're like, hey, I want to do that,
Yeah.
like
Whenever
I want to
someone
help them kind of thing.
whenever somebody asks me this question, that's like exactly what I tell them. I think I got very drawn to seeing that little light bulb go off, like
Hmm.
that little light bulb moment when you have a student who's really struggling with something, like really struggling with reading, really struggling with like letters, letter sounds, or even like social things like
Yeah.
connecting with other kids and like being nice to other kids. And then watching what you've tried to help implement or what you've taught them, watching them actually put it into practice, like seeing that and like watching them make that connection. Like I feel like I got addicted to that and addicted to being able to
Oh
be a
yeah, a
part of
little
that.
bit of cocaine on the
It's
a little bit
because
of
it's
cocaine
just
rush off
such
the light bulb thinking.
exactly. And one thing for me, like I always wanted to be a
She
parent.
doesn't do cocaine.
I don't do cocaine, but one thing for me is I've always wanted to be a parent. And I feel like as a parent,
I feel like I had to let that be known. Sorry.
I feel like as a parent, that's one thing that you get all the time. Like you are your kid's biggest teacher, especially in the first few years.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I've always wanted to do is be a parent. So I feel like when I have my classroom and those are my kids.
Right.
Those are like during the school day or whenever they're with me, those are my kids, those are my babies. Like I feel like I'm their parent in that moment.
Oh yeah.
Like obviously there's differences. There's obviously
Yeah. Yeah.
there's obviously a
L-
big
l-
difference. But
Go
I
ahead.
feel like that that's one thing that connected me to like my personal life and like my work life.
Hmm.
I feel like those connect really well because you get those light bulb moments with parenting and with teaching.
Yeah. And would you say kind of like, would you say that parenting, not parenting, would you say that teaching kind of creates this like sense of like you're hanging, not hanging out, but like you're teaching kids all the time, and you're seeing them grow into a person? Do you think that kind of goes hand in hand with like how you parent, and like not you specifically, but like teachers, but like also you, like, do you think that like there was if there was like a red and green or red and blue pill kind of, would you say like parents that have no teaching, like, or like they don't, parents that are just parents, I'm trying to think of how
Hmm.
to word this. Would you say parents that are just parents, like not a teacher or anything like that, would you say that those are better off like learning from their own skills and like what they know, or like a teacher that is also a parent, like, and teaching their kids, but like also taking what they know home to them and like all that?
Like which one's better?
Not really
Like
which
in a
one's better.
sense.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of having a hard time trying to explain this. So what I'm saying is kind of like, you have a background in teaching, right? Do
Hmm.
you think that makes you a better mom?
I feel like it's definitely helped me and it's given me more resources to be able to deal with like difficult behaviors. I feel like if you've never been in like the teaching realm, especially with like daycare, you haven't had to deal with those difficult behaviors and the tantrums and the negotiating with a
Mm-hmm.
child or a toddler or something like that. I feel like you've never really had experience with that. So I feel like it prepared me a lot
Yeah.
as being a teacher. Like it definitely prepared me for the toddler phase
And
and
then, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, you're fine. And negotiating with him and dealing with like his tantrums and everything.
And would you say like that gives you kind of an advantage over parents that don't have that teaching background, like or like anyone in general?
I feel like slightly, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I definitely have had practice and I've seen what works and what doesn't. And obviously, every child's different and
If it's
everybody.
kind of like if you're dealing with like some random kid, like and you gotta kind of bite your tongue on a lot of things, like that'll also teach you kind of like to bite your tongue on like what even your kid does. But like it's you know what I mean? At least not be as harsh. Like, because
Yeah.
you're like, okay, like you see that this happens with a lot of other kids. Like, my
Hmm.
kid's not different. They're just going through the same phase as these other
Yeah.
kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like that teaching has definitely made me see that. And there's a lot of things that he's going through and like stages like of his behaviors that have helped me. And teaching has helped me see, like, okay, I know it's coming. Like I know what to expect, and I know that around this age, this is what happens. And like obviously, there's things that I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
that were going to happen in like the first year and even now. But I feel like it definitely gave me a head start over like parents who've never taught or been around kids in a daycare
Oh, yeah,
before.
for sure. And do you think like all the stuff that everything that you've dealt with, like obviously you've in your short amount of time of teaching, because I assume 5 6 years, like even being in the field, like that's not a lot
Oh
of time compared to
no,
like people that have been in it for like 40 years and stuff.
yeah.
Would you consider everything you've been through, all the kids like attitudes and and other teachers and parents and all that? Would you say that teachers are underpaid for everything that they go through?
Oh yeah, I feel like a lot of teachers are extremely underpaid. I feel like even if you have like a master's degree, you're not paid for even partially for what you deal with
Well, yeah, because
during the day.
uh, you- I agree because I feel like there's a there's a there's a lot of things I think this world can't really live without, and I think that like regardless if you're a teacher or not, people like you learn new stuff every day.
Hmm.
Like, and what how much easier would it be if someone was actually teaching you it instead of you having to go out and trying to figure it out on your own? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I agree. Like I think teachers are very underpaid just because like that's kind of a non-negotiable for the world to go.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And even if there were like people try to get rid of teachers, like
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see robots or
Well,
whatever
I
deal
mean,
with the
I mean,
behaviors that teachers deal with.
I, 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 I can see that, but I think that's also where like the world could be heading towards is like I think because there's so much. I don't think we'll ever get there, but I think
Hmm.
we're getting at like closer than ever. Obviously,
Hmm.
just because robots don't have personalities and they're not really able to you can't connect with a robot. Like you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
Like in like that type of setting. Like I know there's people out there that fucking goon the robots and they're weird shit AI.
Yeah.
But I think that we're just like you know what I mean, like Chat GPT, like you know what I mean. They're that's kind of like their teacher or like a teacher. You know what I mean.
Hmm.
Same with like all the other like AI things. Like they're kind of teaching you when you look up something. But I think it's also not as personal. Like you don't have someone right there like being like, hey, let's sit down and let's figure this out together. It's kind of like here's step by step what to do. You don't get no conversation in between. Like
Yeah.
I'm just telling you how it's done. But
Yeah.
some people like it like that. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah.
why I'm saying like I feel like we're closer than ever to that being possible, but I wouldn't want to see it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I know. I feel like teaching is also very situational and like I feel like you have to make very split second decisions in some cases
Mm-hmm.
with teaching and like you're not able to teach every single kid the exact same way. So like it just wouldn't I feel like that would not work out,
Oh yeah.
especially for a lot of kids.
I mean, I think if you put even like I wouldn't even know how that would work. Like would those classes kind of be like on Zoom? Like you know what I mean?
I
You're
don't know,
teaching
but
kind of from like
I was in everybody
like
during like COVID and
because
stuff.
yeah.
Nobody learned very well
Oh
on
yeah. Well,
Zoom.
I
So
was in the fucking showers and having my classes
exactly. So
like
nobody really pays attention
you just turn the
regardless.
camera off. But there's always those teachers like That would
Mhm.
make you turn that fucking camera on and
Oh yeah.
yeah, fuck you,
There's
Miss
always
Tramp.
there's always one.
No, but um, my bad. No, but I just think that there's just so many. Like, if you did put a robot, I guess, like an actual physical robot, which I've yet
Mhm.
to see. Like, it's always just AI, like you see AI videos and all that,
Yeah.
which I think that could pass on Zoom. I really do, because like you hear AI voices all the time. Like, I was just listening to a fucking AI SpongeBob singing "Dirt Road." You heard it. You
Yes, I
heard
did
it.
hear it.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, someone can make an AI like generated lesson. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I just think it would be a lot easier, because how would that look in an actual classroom setting? You would have 30 or 20 to 30 kids in there, and like over the intercom you're playing this AI thing, and like there's no teacher. Like,
Yeah, and
first of all,
like
everyone's gonna fucking walk out. Like,
exactly. Most kids like don't even want to listen to a regular teacher that's in
yeah,
there walking around like
and
watching
yeah,
you.
and it's kind of like, because you can go home and do the same shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like you're not getting that personality. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just go look that shit up. Um, okay, so what would you say that kind of the hardest part of teaching is? Whether that is dealing with the parents, whether that is dealing with the kid that, you know what I mean, just doesn't get the subject, or
Mhm.
like even just like the faculty, or like your coworkers or whatever. Like, what would you say the hardest part of your teaching experience? Not like, I don't, not the whole landscape. Like,
Yeah.
what would you say the hardest part of your teaching experience has
I would
been?
say the hardest part of mine has been learning how to tailor all of my curriculum and all my lessons toward all of the different kids, because all the kids have different personalities. Everybody has a different learning style. So, what works for some kids won't work for other ones. So, you have to really think about that when you're planning your lessons and you're looking at your curriculum. You have to really think about how am I going to implement this best that would fit everybody, and how is everybody going to learn the best?
So you can't really teach them all the same,
Hmm.
because there's just some kids that don't learn like others. You know what
Yeah, some learn with
I mean?
like hands on. Like I know that's the way I learn the best. I like have to do things. And then some kids learn by writing it down. Some kids learn by talking through it. So,
But is that almost like a natural kind of like flow that you get in? Like, you just like, okay, like obviously like when you get to know your students, you'll know how they learn.
mm,
But is it kind of like just natural? Like, if it's like if I was talking to you, and like I was talking to you normal, but I also knew that this person over here would like shy,
mm,
and like I wouldn't talk to them as strongly as I like talk to you. Like, I kind of go in like that. It's kind of like that flow of like, you know what I mean? That just kind of like that human sense, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, you sense kind of that, like, you need to, you know, not really like, so not really diagnose anyone with like nothing, but
Hmm.
like, you know what I mean? Do you kind of know that, like, okay, I need to tone it down with him, and I need to turn it up with her, like, you know what I mean? Like, you could just automatically know that.
Yeah, I feel like as you get farther in the school year and as you get to know
Yeah.
your kids more, you definitely start to create a flow in your classroom and you know who needs what. And like I have to do small groups every single day in my classroom. So I know, okay, this kid needs to do this in small groups and this is how I'm gonna do it, and this kid needs something completely different.
Right.
But as you get farther into the school year, you definitely start learning your kids and figuring out what they need
Right.
and
Well,
when they need it.
yeah, especially because they're so young. Like, that,
Hmm.
they're not gonna tell you. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like that's also a thing. Like with kids, is like they're not gonna tell you what they need, but like you'll kind of just see it. Like, you'll see that they need
Hmm.
something, and you'll do it, because they're not gonna be like, hey, like, Miss Green, like I need this. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll either be you figuring out what they need,
Hmm.
or their parent will come to them. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
even then, I feel like they don't really like, they don't converse or talk like with their parent, because a lot of kids now are just kind of like, they get home from school and it's kind of like another day done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they feel kind of accomplished from that.
Hmm.
Like, does that ever, like, do you ever think about something like that? Like, it's kind of like you put in a lot of work and instill a lot of like your time and teaching into these kids, like, just to know that like most of them probably just go home, take their backpack off, and don't even remember the days. Like, does that kind of, it's kind of like no reward at the end of the day? Is that kind of what you feel like?
No, not necessarily. I feel like it's definitely hard sometimes when you know that the parents aren't really doing anything at home. I try to get parents as involved as possible. Like they're supposed to read together every night, and they get math homework after Christmas. Every
Right.
single night they have math homework,
Damn.
except for
Wait,
Fridays.
one math. Is it one math assignment after Christmas? You're teaching math one day.
No, 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 no.
Oh,
There's one math homework assignment every single day except for Fridays. So
after Christmas though. What are you talking about?
So during the first part of the school year, I don't really push it as hard. Like I'll send it, but it's not like mandatory. They don't have to do it at home. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
big deal,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just like extra practice. But after Christmas, when we get back in January, that's when I'm like, nope, this needs to get done because that's when
Oh, that's fucked up, dude.
why? Because
But that's kind of like you.
that's when we have all of our harder things that we start doing.
But
That's when we really get into because my school is accelerated. That's when we really start getting into the second grade math, and that's the things that they really need to
that's
practice.
when you're supposed to like you like in the beginning of the school year. That's why everything sucks in the beginning of the school year because there's nothing going on. Like you know what I mean. And after Christmas, like not even really after Christmas. Like I think when you get to Halloween, Halloween is when everything starts getting cool. You know what I mean? You're supposed to ramp up the math like when school start for you, July, August.
August.
Like, things are supposed to ramp up from August to September, mid October, and then start slowing down because you're easing into the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Not that's not how it
Well, I
goes.
mean, I guess during that time, it's definitely like we're easing into things a lot more
Yeah,
because it is the holidays and there's a lot going on, and then there's like a party every other week and a holiday every month.
yeah.
But we don't, I try, for me in my classroom, what I found works for me this year is I'm very strict on the rules at the beginning of the school year. And I'm like,
Oh, with
nope,
that
we
like
get no leeway at the beginning of the school year because that's how we create routine. That's how they know what the expectations are and how you eliminate unwanted behaviors in your classroom. But I feel like with the homework, that things are so simple at the beginning of the school year and things are so much there's just so much review in August and September for my class that I feel like it's just not necessary to send it home because they get it relatively
oh
quickly.
yeah. Do you have to give out like rubrics in the beginning? I think because they're so
Like what do you
young, you
mean?
wouldn't need a rubric kind of. Isn't
Like
that
a
and that's like
like a report card
no like that's like the guideline or what is it? What's the thing that you
for like our math
the
assignments?
first no like the first week of the school year like you need to have come back and have a sign.
Oh, like
Is
the
it a rubric?
no, I know exactly what you're talking
Or
about,
is it
but
the
I forgot what it's called. But yes, I do have one
you're
of those.
like I need to sign this like and it's like the rules of the class, right?
Kind of, yes. I have one that's like my
What is it
rules.
called?
I don't remember because, but I have one for all of my classes too. So I don't know.
No, what the fuck am I talking about? No, I don't know. Wait, it'll come maybe. I
Well,
don't know.
we're gonna think of it
Yeah,
at a random time. But
yeah. I'm
yeah,
gonna think about
I
it
do.
after this is over. I was like, oh, I fucking told you. Okay, go ahead.
I do have something like similar to that. I have like a letter that I send out to parents, and I kind of tell them what.
It was right there. Oh, it was past my mind and then left. Oh fuck. Okay,
Oh
go
my
ahead.
goodness. But yeah, I have something like that that I send home. It has like rules, expectations, what to
Mm-hmm.
expect, things that I'll send home, and I all the information that the parents need and all the
Yeah.
information that they'll need for their kids throughout.
Syllabus.
It is a
Boom.
syllabus.
Okay,
Yes.
there we go. Go ahead.
Yes. I do
Sorry.
it's not as like structured as a syllabus, but
Yeah.
it's kind of basically the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they do have to bring it back to me.
Okay. And I mean, I guess going back to like the like kind of no reward because like obviously like I don't think any teacher gets into it kind of for for themselves. Like I
Mm-hmm.
really don't think so.
Mm-mm.
Like I think it's kind of just more of they want to help others, especially kids or even like you know what I mean, when you're in college you got fucking 50-year-old student. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I think it's just helping anyone. In is it kind of the is it kind of almost like a mission that'll never just like get accomplished and what I mean by that is because we're learning every day like you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean whether it's with you like 5 years after they're in your class or like six
Yep.
years like is it kind of the fact of knowing it's never mission accomplished for anyone because we're always learning something new? Or is it almost like, sorry, is it almost like it is mission accomplished because you got them through that part of life that they needed to be at that moment?
I feel like it's definitely, well, for me, throughout the year, I feel like it's the little victories and it's like little missions that we have throughout the year. And it's like, we accomplished this. Now we're going to move on to this one. And then, like, our big mission is obviously getting through the school year. And I feel like at the end of every school year, when we got to May or June or whenever, they move up in a classroom. Like whether I was working on like a daycare or even this year when I was teaching first grade, I feel like at the end of the school year when they move classrooms, that's when it's like, okay, we taught them what they needed to know, and I got them through this year, like with social everything that with like socially and like behaviors and things like that. I feel like for me, I feel like I accomplished that mission. That's my mission for the entire school year. But I do take like my little victories throughout the school year
Oh
and my
yeah,
little missions.
it kind of just something to keep you like going. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
feel like that is
Yeah.
definitely what keeps me going on the hard days.
Oh
Those
yeah.
little victories.
Yeah, for sure. Have what would you say the worst? What would you say the worst meal looked like?
Meal.
Because they got lunch, right? Like every school you worked at, they've probably had lunch, right? Like, you
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like, is there like a lunch lady? Like, there's a lunch lady at your school, right?
Yeah, she cooks.
Like, how many schools have you been to where they cook for the kids? Just this one?
Not all of them. Probably like 3 or
If you could
4.
remember, what was if you've had it
If
before
I've
or
eaten
haven't?
it,
Yeah, or like if it looked like just nasty. What would you say the nastiest looking? Like, damn, you're feeding these kids fucking sardines packed in a fucking tuna sandwich. Like, what are we
okay.
talking about?
So it's one that the kids don't like the look of, and like it looks really gross,
That tastes good.
but it tastes so good. It's just tater tot casserole. It looks so nasty. It's like mushy but it tastes really good.
But you're the teacher, so like you get like the behind closed doors thing, like that real Tate. Is
Yes.
she peeling up a she ain't peeling up
No,
that
she's not peeling
but
the
like it's coming from
potatoes.
fries and like the frozen bags and stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not like anything crazy.
And
Like
then what
she'll
else is
sit
in
there
there?
and she'll cook it. There's like sausage in there. There's like some kind of like cream of something.
And this is like a real thing.
Yeah, tater tot
I'm
casserole.
gonna put it up on the screen here in like 3 seconds. 1, 2, green bean
Tater tot
tater
casserole.
tot casserole right
It's
here for you.
good. It's really good. I have to make it one
Yeah,
time because
no,
it's really good.
and it looks nasty.
It looks like when she starts like serving that's probably the only like meal that I could think of that's actually like looks nasty and yeah, that I can remember. I feel like the meals from the other schools are like very simple, like sandwiches, mac and cheese, things like that. Like I mean, the mac and cheese that
It's
we
probably like
have
weedy,
is
huh? It like
not,
tastes weedy, kind of.
no, it's just not that good.
Yeah.
I personally don't like it. I feel like they can't really use a whole lot of like seasonings and everything because some kids won't like it. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. One more question because I don't like we've been having some technical difficulties with this whole thing. So you guys are gonna see a lot of cuts in here, and work with us. Phone's been dying.
Man.
Everything's been going bad, running out of storage. So yeah. What would you say to someone who's a lot younger? Let's say like what would you say to like a 9-year-old that is aspiring to be a teacher and wants to have the same like change the world kind of mindset as you?
Don't do it for the money.
Yeah.
Obviously, like teachers don't make a whole lot, so you have to do it because you really want to make a difference because you have really good reasons for wanting to do it because the money is not one thing that you're going to get a whole lot of. So you have to really be passionate about it and really have a heart for it, or you won't make it past the first or the second year because that first and that second year are going to be difficult. So that's definitely my biggest piece of advice is don't do it for the money and make sure it's something that you are genuinely passionate about before you fully get into it.
Amen. I mean, yeah. I feel like it's not for the faint of heart if you're gonna do it. You know what I mean? If you're gonna do it, get fully into it. Um, But yeah, I mean, I don't want this to run too long. Like I said, difficulties, all these things.
Yeah,
I appreciate your time. I
of
appreciate you being able to
course.
talk with me, and just kind of get the insight of like what it is like being a teacher and being in
Mhm.
those environments. Um, but yeah, I'll see you here in like 30 seconds or
See
whatever.
you in like
But
30
yeah,
seconds.
all right, peace, baby.